Aura reading has always been one of the strongest ways to obtain information in Dead by Daylight. In 2v8 mode, both sides are constantly seeing each other's team's auras thanks to built-in mechanics. Sounds great, right? Well, the truth is, it depends on how well you use the information. In this video, we're going to be talking about how players can misuse the info they get from auras in 2v8 mode, and ultimately, why you're not winning in 2v8. Having a teammate to go after those pesky survivors is something killer mains could have only dreamed of years ago. Now that 2v8 mode has become a recurring mode, launching roughly every 3 months, killer mains like me practically foam at the mouth and wait to play it. 2v8 is one of the most fun game modes for killers in my opinion, because it seems to take away a lot of the stress that the regular game gives killer players. Can't catch that one cracked survivor? Double team them. Having trouble patrolling the entire map with a slow killer? Split up. Hate having to waste extra time carrying a survivor to a hook? Hooks be no more. One could assume with all these extra possibilities and abilities that the killer team would be overpowered in 2v8. And sure, there are some very strong killer teams out there. However, sometimes, just like in the 4v1, there are plenty of matches where you feel like you are constantly down on survivors, using your power well, and still finding the time to kick some gens. Yet somehow, when the match concludes, you and your teammate find yourselves with 40,000 blood points each, but only 1 or 2 kills to show for it. How does this happen? You both feel like you played well and did a fairly good job keeping up with the survivors. The simple answer? The auras. You see, while you're frequently getting wall hacks and seeing survivors across the map in 2v8, it's important to recognize who and what you're really seeing. So let's break it down. There are 3 main reasons an aura is revealed in 2v8, and these all happen passively. 1, when a generator is damaged. 2, when a generator is completed. And 3, when your teammate starts a chase with the survivor. These auras are all shown regardless of what classes your team runs. The difference is that each class enhances these auras that you see in each situation. For example, the Brute class extends the range at which you can see survivors nearby a gen when you kick it. The Shadow class extends the duration that you see a survivor when your teammate starts a chase with them. And as an added bonus, the Enforcer class intermittently shows your survivor's aura after they lose a health state from your teammate. But I think the most important class to discuss here is Fearmonger. Possibly the worst offender of all, the Fearmonger class extends the duration that you see auras after a gen pops. This also happens to be the scenario which will occur the most often. Sounds great, right? Well, it is, except for one small detail. This passive ability, whether or not you're running the Fearmonger class, only shows you the auras of survivors who have not yet been caged. This means that while you and your teammate are salivating at the sight of 5 or 6 survivors about to be caught off guard and smacked upside the head, you're actually going out of your way to hook each survivor for the first time, which, if you're an experienced killer player, you know is not a good thing for your chances at winning the game. Decreasing the survivors' team's numbers has always been one of the best ways to improve a killer's chances at winning the game. And while I'm not necessarily advising players to go out of their way to tunnel, it should be noted that going out of your way to cage each survivor once isn't advisable either. In the 1v4, killers will often see auras due to their perks or add-ons, and can come to expect a reading at predictable times, or sometimes even on cue. So in 2v8 mode, when aura reads happen passively and intermittently, it can be easy to want to go for the first vulnerable survivor you see across the map. However, a better strategy here is to use the information you get from seeing these auras to determine where you need to go to find your next target. Since there are 2 players on the killer team, it's a good idea to pay attention to which survivors have been caged at least once by either yourself or your teammate. Use the HUD to your advantage to get this information and keep a mental note of potential targets. One strategy to capitalize on this knowledge is to track where to find a caged survivor. Since there are no hooks in 2v8, survivors get sent to a cage using the same spawn logic as Executioner's Cages of Atonement. The game will try to spawn a caged survivor as far away from both killers as possible. As a general rule of thumb, you can typically find a recently uncaged survivor on the opposite end of the map from where you down them. Some killers with more mobility in 2v8 are very good at interrupting heals and finding previously caged survivors in this way. Alternatively, if you're not comfortable tunneling or you don't see fit to, you can still choose to go for a different survivor that has been hooked before. Say for instance, a gen pops in the distance and you see the aura of only one survivor. You can tell by their silhouette that this is Jake, and they're healing another player. You know that Jake has not yet been caged because you saw their aura after a gen pop. But you also know that there is at least one other survivor in the area that has been caged before. This is the person that's being healed by Jake. Let's say it's Fong. You know the Fong player has been caged before because you did not see their aura when you saw Jake's. You traverse across the map to the last known location of this group, and you find that there are actually 3 survivors in the area: Jake, Fong, and Meg. You could probably assume that Meg helped Jake heal Fong, or was at least nearby during the time that you saw Jake's aura. It can therefore be deduced that Meg has also been sent to a cage already this match, and would now be on a second or third stage if caged again. But wait! You could have also gotten all of this information from just paying attention to the HUD and periodically looking to see who in the match gets caged. This way, when you find a group of survivors, you know that you can either tunnel Fong or chase Meg, in either case being one step closer to getting a player out of the game. This brings you and your teammate one step closer to that 6th, 7th, and 8th kill. Ultimately, it's up to you to choose whether or not to tunnel, but the important lesson to be learned here is to not chase Jake in this example. You can play nice as a killer in DBD without setting yourself up to lose. By not chasing Jake or somebody that you know has not yet been caged, you are buying yourself time to build pressure and catch more survivors in the long run. If you continue to chase the Jake player in every scenario, you may find yourself in a situation where every survivor has been caged only one time, the gens are close to getting finished, and you and your teammate are running out of time to catch them all. Despite playing well, you and your teammate may run out of time to kill all the survivors before the last gen pops, at which point the game is nearly over. Now, some disclaimers. For those of you that'll say, bro is teaching people to tunnel, or tunneling doesn't make you better at the game, the point of this video is simply to teach players about the information that they're getting in this game mode, so that they can then make more well-informed decisions while they play the game. Furthermore, the ultimate, universal, golden rule win condition for all players from both teams is that you have fun. If you're having fun just enjoying this game mode and all the new gameplay mechanics and possibilities and the chaos that it brings, then ignore all of this and keep doing what you're doing. You're already a winner. That's ultimately the reason we all continue to come back to this game that we love and continue to play it, right? To have fun. But if you want to improve the results of your games, or reach a goal you've set for yourself, or you've been feeling discouraged as a killer player from the lack of kills you're getting each match, then this video is for you. I'm now going to show you guys a 2v8 match I played as a killer with a random teammate, and I'll break down all of this in real time as it happens. I hope that you all enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. Oh, we got a tonic right away, okay. Alright, so first things first, we're just gonna go around the map and find somebody and try and down them. We've already got a group here. Kicking for some info, we got somebody in front, somebody behind. Oh, we just missed that. That's alright. We'll go back and maybe follow this other person's over here. Another close one. There's a lot of people over here, though. Oh wow, that was a great flashbang. What? What do we even hit? That's crazy. Okay. Literally got stuck on nothing. I'm just having a hard time getting it down here. Okay, we got lucky. Had something work out for us. I would say somebody's probably here for the flashlight save. I don't know if we can get two down, but we can at least scare them a bit. Alright. Always check for saves. Somebody else is here also. At least this way we can hear him coming. This will be our first hook. Nemesis hasn't downed anybody yet either, so that's alright. So we look where Nemesis is. He's in that corner, so that survivor is probably somewhere on the other side. If we can get another down in the meantime for free or easily, we'll take it. We're basically trying to look for this. We see all these auras, all these people have not been hooked, and see we now found a person who was uncaged. And we basically traded. There's also other people around still, so I'm not going to pick up immediately. Might be able to catch somebody else off guard. Alright. I think it might be safe now. We'll see. Okay, we've seen auras, so actually we know it's not bad. Maybe we'll help get this down real quick. Nemesis picking up the other guy, so that's good. So now we should have 3 people that have been hooked once. We see more auras. We know all these people have not yet been hooked. Now I see that person getting healed back there. I also see somebody healing on my left. So we can assume that that person is healing one of the people that were just recently unhooked. And they are? Because they just got endurance. Unfortunately, I hit the person out of the cage, so they still had endurance. But that's okay. Now I have a slew of opportunities. This person also got sandbagged so hard. Somebody probably hanging out for the flashlight save. Okay, I guess not. Yeah, I hear Vittorio, who I think was also hooked once already. Alright. We're at 4 gens right now, by the way. Gens are flying. Let's see, was that Vittorio hooked once? I think they were. No, they weren't. Okay. Ace on my right here trying to get this save. Let's shut that down. Hopefully we get this. Oh, they went for the flashlight instead of the pallet, so they didn't get it. Alright, don't get distracted. This Ace wants us to chase him around here for a while. Oh, that guy was dead, actually. That's so huge. Fake the chainsaw so we can try and get an M1. Oh, I'm kind of bugged out. I'm a little bugged out. Should be good now, though. Yeah, here we go. Is this person running to uncage? No, nobody's caged. This is not really where I want to be. There's no objectives over here. I do hear somebody getting healed, though. One of these people were probably recently uncaged. If I remember, I'm thinking it's Dustin, because he was... Oh wow, we both miss. But Dustin is infected from Nemesis. I believe he was the person that was caged before. I also know for sure this this Vittorio was caged once now. I don't think this girl can get this save. She staggers jumping down the hill. This is second hook for Vittorio. Yeah, that was way late. Alright, we leave this girl. We don't care about that. We're not gonna get an ego about that pallet, son. She missed a save, so that's the important thing. We got Fong, randomly. Billy is good at random drive-bys in this mode, I've noticed. 2 gens, by the way. We need to probably get this Vittorio out of here ASAP. We can tell by auras. We see Ace's aura because he was not hooked. We didn't see Dustin because he was hooked once. And we need to go get this Yui. Okay, he got Yui. I need to get this Vittorio, who sells endurance. This Vittorio is dead on hook. We need him out of the game right now, or they're about to finish all the gens very soon. We'll severely slow down the game if I can get him out. We'll see. Might be able to get the down, but they might get a save. Ooh, nice. Alright. He's taking me to the corner of a map I don't want to go to, which is smart of him. But, should be dead now. Hopefully nobody nearby. Those are his scratch marks right there. I think we're safe. 2 people in a cage, 1 person almost about to die if nobody goes for the save. I think we help him get Dustin because I do believe he was hooked once. There we go, he got him. We'll leave him. Zombie chasing somebody on the right. Alright, we have 3 people dead now. So the game's going to slow down a lot. Might be a good idea to try to patrol for a little quick second here. We got Yui, huge. I think she's been hooked 1 time. We have a lot of hooks if you look at the HUD. But we could have had a similar amount of hooks and had everybody hooked once or twice and everybody's still alive and we would totally be losing in 5 seconds. Quick check on the right. Oh yeah, here's a group. That's Dustin who's down on hook. He got healed, but it doesn't matter. He also doesn't get his endurance because he was fully healthy. If he was injured, he would have tanked a hit there and kept going. I think he's dead now. And we know the other girl's to our left, who I think Nemesis picked up chase with. Yeah, Dustin's dead, huge. Only 4 survivors left, one of which is in a cage. That's already regressing. 2 zombies here. I think we can let that be. Check this gen back here. Nothing fancy, but we'll kick it. Maybe we get a gen read. That zombie like body blocked me for a second, I think. Maybe we just help out Nemi. Oh yeah, there's a whole group here. This Ace has not been hooked once, but I'm not that worried about it. Everybody screamed thanks to Fearmonger. We'll go for the Yui. Maybe we can slug. They can pick themselves up if they've been hooked once, but I don't think that Ace can because he hasn't been hooked yet. So we'll keep the pressure building. At this point, I think people are just about done doing gens. I think we're at that point of the match where people are going to start looking out for themselves, trying to get a hatch. We got the zombie. At this point, I think it's okay that we team up, because there's not a lot going on. Somebody here. Oh, they're going for the uncaged. That's unlucky. We'll just hit him. There's still 4 in 1 gen. Don't get me wrong, they could do it. So maybe we try to get Ace out. I failed to pay attention to if he's dead on hook, but we know he's been hooked once at least. Could be good enough. Oh, he didn't fall for the mind game. Okay. This guy's pretty good. I think we're doing all right, though. I still think they're probably not going to do the gens. Even if they do the gens, I think we're at a good enough spot where we could find them and get 1 or 2 more kills and wrap it up. Yeah, he's going to fake that. I say he needs to take it now. That's all right. That was probably the longest chase we've had all game, but again, I think it was warranted considering he's one of the last people we know have been hooked already, and we've earned that time to create extra slowdown. This zombie is blinded, so somebody was nearby recently. We've got 2 people here, both injured, and it's 2 of the last 3 people. Alright, Nemi's on the other girl, so should be GG's. This Yui could get hatch, but if she does, fair enough, right? Not gonna be the end of the world. But recognize that if we didn't get the information that we had this way, we probably would have had just as many hooks with only like 1 or 2 kills. And that's GG's. And they're not very happy about it. But again, we've seen some auras of people that were not yet hooked. And we didn't necessarily ignore the auras, we just used that to tell us what was going on. We've seen people that weren't hooked. Oh, they got the hatch. All right, fair enough. Well, we got 7 kills. You can't really do anything about the 3 hatches. But we saw auras of people who had not been hooked, and we went to them, but instead of chasing them, we chased the person that they were healing, that we knew was recently uncaged, and all that stuff. So we used that to get information. We paid attention to the HUD, seeing who had a stage, who hadn't, who was infected from Nemesis, and was probably the person that was uncaged. You know, using that information to make deductions and make properly informed choices. Because we got 7 kills, but they flew through 4 gens in the first couple of minutes. So if we hadn't been paying attention to that, we were just happy-go-lucky, whatever, chasing whoever, they probably would have forced it on us to try and take chase with somebody that hadn't been hooked yet, or we would have taken too long of a chase. There were 1 or 2 spots where we chased for maybe a bit too long, but we recognized that and we kind of moved on. So yeah, this worked out for us. It was evident to me that benefited our gameplay. I think I see easily a match like this going to 1, 2, 3 kills, maybe. Because once the gens pop, it's kind of it. You got 3 exit gates, 3 hatches when the last 2 survivors are there, so you don't have to go out of your way to tunnel. I think we really only hard tunneled like 1 time, and the rest was just kind of, hey, this person and this person are dead on hook, let's go after them. So use this to your advantage or don't, but as long as you're having fun, you guys are going to be just fine. But maybe this helps you out, get a few more kills in 2v8. You can also pair up with somebody that you actually know and strategize this together. It's kind of a dirty strategy, but you can do this on your own as well. But I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.